Hi, welcome to Canadian Innovators. I'm Anthony Furey, your host for today's program, a show all about entrepreneurship and business in Canada. And for today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at tariffs, all things tariffs, all aspects of it, the big issue right now all across the Canadian politics and business landscape and beyond. And today we're joined by Jocelyn Bamford, the original host of this program and the founder of the Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers and Businesses of Canada, one of the co-sponsors that brings you this program. Jocelyn, always great to speak with you, and welcome to your show. Welcome back to your show. How are you doing?
Thanks, Anthony. It's always fun to be on this side of the table, I'll tell you.
And you are also joining us not just as the founder of the coalition and as the host of this program, but you're joining us as a manufacturer. You're vice president of Automatic Coating, a company that has facilities in Canada and the United States, a longtime producer of Canadian jobs and opportunity, and now someone who I think is probably very well positioned to give us your insights into what's actually going on right now with cross-border relations, with the tariffs. So I want to get your perspective on it. I also want to take a step back and talk about tariffs more broadly, because I find in some of the more general media conversations, there's not much context about what even tariffs are, how they come into effect, how they impact consumers and businesses on the ground level, on the day-to-day level. When you think about tariffs as a business owner and as a manufacturer, what do they mean for you?
So they mean an additional cost, and what they mean at a 25% level is a complete erosion of any profit margin. You can't absorb a 25% cost increase, because that's going to completely devastate any of your, sorry, my phone is ringing, any of your uh, a profit margin that you make. So it's going to be devastating for manufacturers to absorb this additional cost.
And where in the sort of nuts and bolts mechanics of it, where do the tariffs end up getting implemented? You and I were speaking before the program about the customs officers who, whether it's a shipment coming to your home from you ordering a retail consumer product abroad, or as a manufacturer getting a product in your supply chain brought to you, what actually happens in terms of how they levy that fee against you?
So if you've ever ordered any clothing that's foreign sourced, you'll know that you order it, you pay for it, and then when you get it delivered to you, you might get a little post-it on your door that says, "Hey, you owe this extra money in the form of tariff," or they call it duty. So you usually will pay the courier, UPS or whoever, Canada Post or whoever is delivering that to you. You will pay them that additional fee, and they will collect it on behalf of whichever government they're doing. So in the form of a business owner, you will pay we all have customs brokers, because when you are having parts that go across the border or having shipments, supplies that come in from another country, you have to have it cleared through a customs broker. So what happens is the customs broker, whether it's going whichever way it's going, inbound or outbound, will collect that tariff and send you a bill for it. So we will see that bill for whatever part or piece or supply that we get in. And that tariff will be added to that bill, we call a duty, and we'll have to write the check to the customs broker for that. So that makes the piece or part much more expensive. Now, added to that is a lot of us have contracts, long-term contracts. We might be in the middle of a 5-year contract with no escalation clauses. That means we can't pass that on to the consumer. We have to absorb that. And so what happens with a 25% tariff is basically you're shipping your parts with a bunch of money attached to it, because it's costing you more in tariffs than it is in profit. So that becomes a death spiral for companies, especially those companies that have long-term committed contracts without any escalation fees. It's just devastating.
So, Jocelyn, when we have steel and aluminum tariffs, which is one that we know is definitely happening with the American president, some are on the table, some are off. We are getting steel and aluminum. But you're saying if you are an American company that uses Canadian steel, you're importing it, you're going to get hit with that exact levy there. This is good context to understand exactly how all of this works. When we come back here on Canadian Innovators, Jocelyn Bamford and I will speak more about the impact of tariffs on Canadian workers, Canadian companies, and beyond. I'm Anthony Furey. Stick with us.